I'm the CEO and co-founder of DroneEntry. I wanted to start with presenting about the use of drones that has been optimized across different industries right now. And everybody here is here for a reason, that is the drone itself. We as a startup decided to focus on the pilots themselves because the industry was looking at the drones as the problem. As the pilots engage themselves in engaging in using drones in different applications, our focus as a startup remained to be the application of pilot in a workflow of using of drones. The drone solution providers decided to look at different niche markets to provide solutions for different verticals. And as a startup, we decided to look at and understand that and see where the market was heading in the early stages of the company. Now, as we proceeded further, we decided how about we build a platform that allows the pilots to engage in showcasing their credentials that would eventually become the pilot ID. So we looked at it a little more in depth, while other industry solution providers looked at providing solutions for drone application. We looked at pilot being part of that ecosystem, and we introduced the pilot dashboard. The pilot dashboard became the essential part of our company vision, where we allow pilots to build their credentials in a more auditable format. Not only showcase their competency, but also as a feedback loop, knowing exactly how they fly and how well they're flying when they do actually fly. So this was back in 2018 where we decided to kind of come together after a year of research and understanding the market, that we will put up a dashboard that allows pilots to engage with the community on a transparency. And that became the component of our vision as we move forward. Sorry. Now, fast moving forward, you've probably seen a lot of companies looking at creating drone programs across the industry types right now. And for us, it got us thinking, if the drone programs are what everybody's looking at, what is really stopping them from growing? The two things were basically creating drone programs were done by drone service companies, and then the drone service adoption programs became about the 500 Fortune companies like oil and gas and mining companies that started creating their own drone programs away from drone service companies. They wanted to train their own, they wanted to keep their own because they had different compliances that they wanted to set forth. So about 25% of organizations struggle right now to get a positive return of investment while they create drone programs. And this has been, I think, research over the past a year since the drone programs have started adopting. So we as a startup started looking at this, and we said, how is this really the problem when enterprise companies are focusing on providing the valuable data to the larger enterprise companies that were doing the services for them? So we looked at creating enterprise dashboard that purely focused on four things: pilot management, paper management, and project management, and as well as client management. Now, I know you all might be thinking, another asset management company. No. We do not deal with asset management. I'll get into the depth of how our dashboard actually works. A quick demo of all the four modules and how they actually present to the user, the enterprise, of course. The four things we obviously focus on is how does an enterprise company that adopts a drone program scale by communicating with the client as well as managing multiple projects with multiple task assignments to the pilot. So I'm going to take you back to the journey that I talked about as a pilot dashboard. So this is how, if you go on right now on the pilot dashboard, you can actually build your profile. You can share your certificates. The idea is if you're a Part 107 certified pilot, you should be able to fly in Canada with advanced certificate because you have all the credentials that showcase on this platform. And that's the future vision. One thing we're doing here is endorsements have to be authenticated, so we allow the pilots to get endorsed via invitation through the enterprise they work with, so they get actually endorsed, or from the community, so they have accumulated endorsements for their actual expertise. You're looking at a pilot dashboard with certifications, the drone types they know how to fly, and 1 minute. Sorry, 1 second. I just need to switch this. want to show you the latest one actually. Here we go. Okay, sorry. I just had the wrong updated one. So this is the pilot dashboard. We have the drone types, the project types. Now this is a single pilot point of view that we have right now, showing their competency metrics that you have. You get the endorsements on the platform. As you move forward, you can actually see we go into the project management part of it. So with the AirMap integration, we were able to actually adjust a single pilot being able to showcase their specific project and showcase the industry knowledge they have, not the client information, but rather more specific to the work they've done. The other thing we've actually added is in the project section, if you add the jurisdiction or the zoning that you have the competency to fly, you will get opportunity from enterprise companies to work in that specific zone. So we're not here looking at bidding for the cheapest job. You're looking at competency of being able to fly in a specific airspace, getting that job for that reason. So that way you are more competent to actually fly. You have a smoother lands authorization request goes through because of your experience that is already included in the dashboard that you're working with. So here you have the Canadian airspace. So we are a Canadian startup. So you can see verifying the jurisdiction by basic operation or advanced certificate that you have as a pilot that we verify using a different database. On the side, you can see there's a data sync feature. That is another feature that we've added with the integration of drone deploy and a lot other features that are coming with other API integrations. This automatically synchronizes your project information, the project type, and how long you've done it. So it does not only take telemetry data, but actually takes a lot more and helps you profile. So there's less of manual and more of automation. And drone deploy is just the starting. We have a lot of other integrations coming with other maps made it easy, Pix4D as well. This is just a simple way of kind of showing how we're going to go about adding that data sync feature to your platform. You have to do a bit of manual work, but once it's set up, it's good. This part is the most essential part. So you do not work with a human to verify yourself like the other platforms. You actually verify yourself automatically using our third-party API partner that allows you to verify yourself as a user or a human first before you're a pilot. So this way it helps you get verified as fast as possible. So you get verified as a human, which helps us verify you as a pilot because we know exactly where you are. And all this data is kept in private. So we don't use this data for anything else. Now I wanted to move on to the enterprise, which is what we're focusing here today. Now, the enterprise version is where we are looking at managing the pilot with more specific, cleaner UX UI. Here you see all the tasks that has been assigned to the pilot. So again, focusing on getting the tasks done, more specifically by the pilot, and the projects he has remained doing, and who he's working with. So again, this is a very project management style focused on that, while we actually help you work with other API integrations like asset management tools that are out there, or airspace tools like plans providers that you can work with. This is a task feature that we've added. So the reason we've kind of focused on this specific points is because of how construction companies have been focusing on or are used to a lot of apps like Zapier or a Cisco ERP-based company, ERP-based systems. There's a gap right now, if you think about it, where ERP systems does not exist, an open ERP that allows you to basically manage different tasks. And this is what the project does. This is what the tool does. It allows you to add a subtask task. Moving on to, let me just go back here so I can show you a little bit more. The task based on the field information. Subtasks are a task underneath the tasks. You can also verify which pilot will be doing the flight hour for that specific project. So that way each individual task tracks different flight hours. So if you have multiple teams in different geographic locations, you can all manage here while you're using other softwares to process your data. So we do not process your data, but we sync the data in one place, more of an aggregator. Moving forward, this is just adding tasks, showing you that you can add members to the team, the date. Soon enough, we'll have the app where it'll help you verify and get you deadline notifications on your phone, all being agnostic to which software you might use to fly or process your data. Paper management became a more important part of it because of the compliance aspect, any authorization requests you may need. We added the communication aspect too, but right now the contract signing is something that we're looking forward to a lot more. With the API integration with our partners, you're able to actually get electronic signature. That way you don't have to deal with paperwork, and you can do that on site if needed be. And this is all inside your dashboard while on the app as well. Communication with the client is probably the most important thing. So with our technology that we've kind of looked at, the workflow that we're patenting, you're able to actually communicate with your client through the dashboard without having to switch emails, because they get that message on their email rather than, because they're used to emailing more than anything else. Why would you want your client to be on a platform they don't really use? So we've actually built a chat system where you're able to communicate exactly the task that is being accomplished and when it's going to be accomplished. All this is customizable. We are able to actually know exactly the progress as an administrator, and also send notifications to the client when the project status has been completed. So again, this is really focusing on the ERP aspect infused with the existing tools. This next step is actually very exciting, that because we had the pilot dashboard that I showcased earlier, well, we didn't want to leave our pilots behind, the single pilot, the freelance pilots. So one neat thing we've added is, as enterprise companies, you don't want to keep hiring, or you want to have a burn rate going on with having too many pilots on board where you have to spend money. And that's what we saw. The drone programs were burning a lot faster because they had pilots just sitting with no job. So enterprise companies can actually look for a specialist in a specific industry, and then type in drone pilot if they need it be, and they'll find a pilot that gets invited just to work with them for that specific task if needed be, or the project. After the task's done, they go on their way and the enterprise remains their own. So this helps enterprise scale faster. If they're located in Detroit and this project in South America, they can actually search for South American pilots and go do the job through their platform, because they're actually not bidding, but rather hiring them on a contract basis. So we make that process a lot more easier for enterprise companies to be located in one place. Specifically, I think mining companies that probably don't want to move their offices there, but they want to work with another enterprise company. That's a possibility here. And we're calling the feature called co-venture, is what we call it. This is just another addition to the task. Oh yeah, my dev is playing with me, saying needed by Tuesday, which is what I told him. I need it by Tuesday so I can present this. This is showcasing a lot more deadlines on the subtask. And if you imagine if this helps fix the gap between large enterprise companies who are used to ERP systems, understand how we can actually infuse the existing drone softwares, it's a lot easier for them to know that the drone programs will be a lot more profitable because there's a proper, complete workflow. And that is what we've been trying to focus on, is how do we help these large enterprise companies focus on being able to scale and become more profitable. Pilot detailed task management, project management, data sync features. So large enterprise companies could be using multiple different softwares to process the data. We don't want to hold that against them. We want them to actually work with multiple different software partners, but then be able to manage their project in a much better workflow compliant way. Documentation and e-authorization requests has been one of the most popular ones in terms of being able to be more flexible in terms of how do you go about your day when a pilot goes into the actual area of flying and he needs an authorization request and he forgets the paperwork, they lose a day. So a day is a loss for them in many ways. So we help in all workflow in that compliance aspect. Obviously, I showed you the enterprise video, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, we are presenting ourselves as a solution that fits into the ecosystem, and that's what we want to be. We want to be not the one that does everything and all in a closed, inclusive. We've seen what happened to companies that have actually tried doing that. So we thought, okay, if our solution actually fits into the ecosystem while we work with multiple partners, we could be working with South American data processing companies, we could be working with Asian, because we were in Hong Kong for Accelerator as a startup, so we got to know about Malaysia, Indonesia market as well. There are very similar softwares that are different language that may not have this capability, but they process data for a specific geographic location. So yeah, that's our workflow management tool. We are at booth